This is Connor, wonderful soccer player. A couple of things going on here. So this is what all my boys soccer players say, which is I heard it just by playing soccer. But the issue really Connor has is that he's probably got the tightest hips in the Frisco area. And he's doing a lot of agility training and he's doing a lot of soccer. So at this age, 14-year-old boys want to get faster, stronger, bigger. And they start getting into the weight room with very little, oftentimes when they go into the weight room, there's little supervision in it. But even before that, the issue is that when they go through puberty, oftentimes what can happen, actually all of the time what happens, is their muscles get tighter. And I can't tell you this I haven't read the studies in this, but from my experience, when the boys go through puberty, they have more muscle and they focus less on trying to create flexibility and mobility in their joints, and they focus more on how many reps of 225 they can do on a squat rack or bench press.
That is correct. Yeah.
And oftentimes I liken this to you're building this big bad house on a foundation of sand. Because really, if you can't move, let's just use soccer as an example, or even football if you're a receiver. If you need to run, there's two ways to run quicker. There's three ways. There's increasing stride length, longer strides. There's stride frequency, how many times your foot actually taps on the ground, and then there's strength. All boys focus on is the strength part. Actually, the fourth variable is like perfecting the technique of running, because there are sprinters that focus their entire lives to a 100-meter dash. And just because we run doesn't mean that you're doing it. We can inherently run. It doesn't mean that that you're doing it correctly. But in Connor's case, a lot of his knee issue or his strain in his quad comes from the inability to move his hip very well. And that's why even his agility coach has noted that he would be much faster, he'd be much more agile if he could actually move his hips. Generally, boys, they can move their hips okay this way, but then in football, in soccer, there's a lot of lateral movement. That means that you have to be able to move your hip left to right. But do they ever focus on stretching those areas? No, they don't. And then when they don't, when this doesn't move, this has to take up some of the issues, or his low back has to take some of his issues. So it wouldn't surprise me if Connor told me, sometimes I get low back pain. That's because this doesn't move very well. And it doesn't surprise me again that he has a knee issue, because this is a ball and socket joint, the hip. The knee is only a hinge joint. So he's asking the knee to do what the hip does, which is the hip is all multi-directional. The knee is only this. And so that's when you get into situations where you strain your meniscus, your quad, the back of your knee, or even to your hamstring. So an easy way to prevent all of these issues from happening, to be faster, to be quicker, to be more agile, to prevent quad strains, hamstring strains, is to work on your hips. It's the easiest thing you could do. You could literally just spend 5 minutes a day, every single day, working on your hips, and you would dramatically decrease your risk of injury down here or in this lumbar spine area.